pathway to citizenship, but the bill is stalled right now in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Republican Congressman Jeff Denham of California has now broken ranks with a lot of his GOP colleagues. The only House Republican, at least so far, to do so, saying he will vote with the Democrats if the bill comes to the floor. He's joining us from Capitol Hill right now to explain his decision. Congressman, thanks for coming in.
Wolf, it's good to be with you again.
Tell us why you decided to break with your other Republican colleagues and side with the Democrats when it comes to a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants.
Look, I don't believe it as breaking ranks. I believe this is to focus the nation and focus the House on getting real reform done this year, whether it's a top-to-bottom approach with a number of Republican bills that have already passed through committee, or whether it's more of a comprehensive approach. My focus is making sure that we actually have a solution done this year.
As far as you know, are you the first Republican to take this position, to side with the Democrats on this issue?
I am, because I don't look at this as a Republican or Democrat issue. This is an American issue, one that can help solve our economy, one that affects not only my community in California, but across our entire nation. So we've got to get something done. I'm going to be a leader that hopes to get both parties together. And I'm the first, but I expect to see many other Republicans signing on very soon.
Do you think that the Speaker will allow the Senate-passed version which had strong bipartisan support? A lot of Republicans and Democrats obviously voted for it, to come up for a clean vote in the House of Representatives, even if a majority of Republicans are not in favor of it?
Now, the Speaker has been very clear, as well as the conference has been very clear, that we will not have a vote on the Senate bill. Which is why this new bill is so important. The biggest issue that Republicans had, and actually even Democrats had, is the border security piece. We have now added the Republican version to this bill that addresses that border security with real metrics, with guaranteeing that we have a solid 90%, over 90% success rate before we even implement the rest of this. So I think this is a good bipartisan solution. Now it's time to get Republicans to sign on board as well.
But do you believe the Speaker will allow this version to come up for a vote?
You know, I don't know. It's not a discussion that we have had yet. I have let leadership know that I am signing on to this bill, and I'm actively going to pursue other Republicans and ask them to sign on board as well. But whether or not this gets a vote, or whether this gets a vote this year, I think remains to be seen. My job as a member of the House is to support the things that I feel are important, not only to my community, but important for the nation. This is one of those issues. So the more that we can focus attention on this, I think will help the overall debate to getting a full top-to-bottom approach onto the floor.
Realistically, Congressman, how many Republicans do you think you can bring over to the side?
You know, there have been a large number of Republicans that have been out there out front talking about an earned path to citizenship. I think if you're talking about an earned path to citizenship, then really your only concern is making sure that the border security piece is strong, and that's exactly what we have in the McCall bill that has now been added to some of the Senate versions. So I'm confident we're going to get a huge number of Republicans that come out in support of this. You know, the ultimate number, I think, remains to be defined.
Would you, and we'll just wrap it up, Congressman, describe for our viewers what the process would be for at least a huge number of these 11 million illegal immigrants eventually to become citizens of the United States? What would they have to do? How long would it take?
You know, actually, it's a very difficult process. First of all, we need to make sure that we guarantee that the border is secure, and that is in this bill. But secondly, just the earned pathway to citizenship, to file as that registered provisional status, RPI status, is the first step. You've got to pass a background check. You have to pay fines, pay taxes, speak English. Those are just the first steps. So that is a big jump on its own. Then you go through a 4-year process. You pay more fees, more back taxes, just to get the second phase of this. It's a 10-year process just to become a legal permanent resident if that individual chooses so. After 3 more years, so after a 13-year process, then you can file for citizenship. That would be the earliest way. One amendment, though, I have negotiated into this bill, my Enlist Act. I served with a lot of immigrants in the military through Desert Storm and through Somalia. I just very strongly believe that immigrants that want to serve our country should have the quickest pathway to citizenship, and that's exactly what my amendment does.
Jeff Denham is a Republican congressman from California. Congressman, thanks for coming in.